I have starred in movies. I have had my own television show. But tonight, I'm playing the back of a bowling alley in Huntington Beach. I don't know if I'm ready to be married yet, like I grew up in the 80s, I still feel like I'm 16, It's part of a breakdance crew. When you're like in the breakdance, when people challenge you to do something, you battle. They make you do something you don't want to do. So like that, isn't that like marriage every night? My wife would be like, "You're not to do the dishes." I'm like, "Nuh-uh." You scrub. Robots are coming, all right? Here's the thing is that women, you've known about this robotic invasion for years. Because every woman in this room, in her top dresser drawer, has a little vibrating, shiny, wiggly robot. I don't know you that well. So I was like, you got Google? And she's like, I don't even know your middle name. I'm like, Alexa! Tell her everything.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is a very special edition of Unger the Radar, where we talk all things film. And right now I have with me via Zoom, I've got actor-comedian Jamie Kennedy. What's up, Jamie? How's it going?
What's up, dude? Just getting dressed, man.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, happy belated birthday.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It was a big one. It was 5-0.
Oh yeah. What did you do anything special?
Oh, it was pretty great, for my 50th in lockdown. I had a beautiful video made. A lot of people was in this video, whoever worked with me, and it was really sweet.
That's cool.
People surprised me, and a couple of people surprised me. Came over and barbecued without me knowing. So it was actually very sweet for being in lockdown.
Sweet. And you just came off a tour, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was touring until, we had our lockdown, but
Right.
it was about, I was on there for about 2 months.
Okay. And basically, you are promoting Stupid Smart, the comedy special.
Yeah, I got my special. It's called Stupid Smart. It's on Tubi right now, which is an amazing streaming service. It's I call it Netflix with commercials. And it's great. I mean, they have been really great with me, and they are just a wonderful platform. They have my other 2 specials and movies, and you watch a commercial in the beginning, and boom, you're on.
That's sweet. And you also did a Sia live stream, or was that a while ago?
I did a See a live stream premiere, yes, for my birthday.
Cool.
I did that. I've been doing interviews and press and all of that to promote Stupid Smart,
Mm-hmm. So did it take a while to come up with the material for the special?
It took me a couple years, you work it out. I mean, I probably could have did it a year before, but I did it. I had it shot in 2018, and I was probably working on it since about 2015, so about 3 years. But I was going to put it out, but the way things are, we had to get it right. So it's been about 10 years since my last special, but I've done a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
that was but usually go on the road, you try it, adjust it, and try it again, adjust it. And so that's the process.
Really perfected, so it's really good. And the venue, the Rec Room. How did you find that venue? Did you feel comfortable there? What did you think of the crowd too?
The crowd's awesome. It's in Huntington Beach. It's just a great comedy club. It's like a little room. You just work it out. People are there to have a good time. And it's awesome. It's built by a comedian, so he knows how to do it. And I just love it. It's a real intimate feel.
Yeah. And that's what you typically look for when you do your shows, like a real intimate scene.
No, I like that big ones too. But I just like, to have this one was like more of like a getting to know me. My last special was bigger in a theater. The one before that was in a medium size theater. And this one was like I wasn't gonna be able to get all that, like it was like I was doing it myself, I was producing it myself and with my buddy. And most specials are really big unless you watch like Dave Chappelle's Bird Revelation, which was shot in the Belly Room, which is a very tight room at the Comedy Store. And so I felt like, I wasn't going to be able to do 1,000 people, and why not do it at this club that has about 150 seats? And, it's a way to like kind of reintroduce me. And I never stopped doing comedy, but a way to people to see me in like a more intimate setting. And then when the time arises, I'll do a bigger one. But I love it. It feels very cool.
Nice. Do you prefer stand-up to acting, or are they kind of similar to you?
It's all different, but it's all the same. It's all different. You know what I mean? Like acting is you're going on the set, you're showing up, you're saying lines, somebody else's sometimes, or your own if you write it. Stand-up is your own baby. I would say that it's hard, like I really love acting, and I love like when I do Tremors or something, I go to like South Africa. I love showing up. I love having my little bits of work and knowing I'm done the scene, and then I have a break, and then I can go prepare my next scene. I love stand up as well. I love the live feedback. I love it there. I almost think acting is easier because stand-up is such your own baby. You got to really go out there and do it to love it. You got to do your own press. You got to write it. You got to book your own stuff with your agent. It's harder, but
yeah, it
can be more gratifying in some ways because it's your thing.
Right. They're different animals. That's
totally.
So I know you've interacted with the crowds a bit. In your mind, what is the best way to handle a heckler?
Best way is kind of like feel them out the way they want to be, the way they're giving it to you. You know what I mean? You have to like, do I look like I just woke up? You have to what they're giving you, like some people like, some comedians are very, 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 very on it, and they don't want to be interrupted, but like if you really have a flow going and you have an idea, then it's really annoying to be heckled. Or if you're searching for your stuff and you get heckled, maybe it can make you find a new way. So if someone just says something casually, you can ignore it, or you have to read their behavior, and so how you don't have to just go at them so hard. You can play with them. It all depends. You can shut them down. My thing is to kind of let them, kind of burn themselves. You just kind of lead them to the water, and they'll eventually say something that you can use against them, and then they'll be embarrassed and they'll shut up.
It's really just a power thing. And if you could just flip that power trip onto the, turn the tables.
It very is.
Yeah.
It is. It's like hop keto. It is. It's like kind of using their power against you. Like someone grabs your arm, you go with it, and then flow, and then grab, and then turn around and grab them. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is like that. You're totally correct.
It's cool. It's a good way to approach it. I never considered comparing comedy to martial arts.
Well, it is because it's like, you're right. It's like people very rarely, this Karen thing has been really big in the last, year, but the Karens have been in the comedy club forever. And it's like entitled, like, drunk white women in their 40s, that's like always been around. But I think people are starting to see them now on the streets. And I think that it is most people don't want to heckle. Dudes don't want to heckle. Like, you come to the show, I'm a dude, you're a dude. We're both, like, that type of energy. Because it's good. It can get confrontational with two dudes, right? Yeah. Like, it's usually women. Not all the time. Don't take it the wrong way, women. But most of the time, it's been women. I've very rarely had a dude say, fuck you to me. But it happens. But usually a lot of drunk women. a flirty thing. It's like a fourth grade, like, ew, him, he's not cute. Or, or like some dudes, if you do a joke really good, the dude may want to try and press his woman. That is, there are dudes that try to alpha you. There's all types of stuff. And then there's just drunk people. And there's people that don't know they're heckling, they're having a good time, and they have no idea how to behave. So, I mean, it's a mix. I try to go as deep as I can without getting someone kicked out. I don't want you to get kicked out. If you do, I will probably give you your money back unless it's just it's irrational what you're doing. And then at some point, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, that's cool. Stand your ground.
Yeah, but it's also, we're there to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So what do you hope audiences take away? You've done a few specials, I think. You've done a lot of touring. What do you hope audiences take away from this special, Stoopid Smart?
I think that, basically I want people to have a good time. It's like Jamie Kennedy's hat's in the ring, he's always, around. And I think that, look, if you want to escape, we're almost 3 months into a pandemic now, we have terrible, horrific social injustices. And then that has turned into, peaceful protests have turned into, there's some looting happening. It's just, the world is in a crazy place. I mean, the last thing you need is for me to, turn on TV and watch comedy. But if you do want to escape, I'm there for it, but also, it's just, if we ever do get back to a normal place, just people that like me, it's for my fans, and we'll build from there,
I mean, I think we need comedy now more than ever. I mean, not just, stupid yucks, but I think, we just need like a social commentary to be given to us in a way that is humorous, but not overly humorous, that's respectful to the situation. And, I think your humor does that, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like, that's what the special is. The special is like, starts as like, as me as Jamie Kennedy, and I'm fun and I'm light. And then I go into some deeper topics. That's when the smart part comes in. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you my commentary, my perceptions of things. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we need comedy more than ever. I think the number one thing we need right now is information. Correct information. I think we have to share the information. And then the second thing is there are people that are like, my assistant, my sweet little assistant, she's like having a meltdown. She's like having anxiety. And so it's like, she's like, I can't watch the news. You watch the news too much. And I get it. I'm like, but I want the information. So a lot of people I'm finding that are getting overloaded. So if you do want to escape, which I don't think we should do.
Right.
Now we're going down. I really think we should all be informed and be active and try to invoke change and righteousness in this world to right this ship. Yeah. But if you do need an hour, because you just like are 12 hours deep and you want to change, entertainment is supposed to provide that, whether you're binging, Netflix or watching a Jamie Kennedy special or whatever. And then there's also informed entertainment, like you're saying, which is entertainment with a purpose, which I think. And I think my special is a little bit of both.
Nice. Yeah, we need that more than ever, for sure. So let's switch gears a little bit. So I'm a huge fan of your work, your film work particularly. What were some of your favorite movie moments, like moments that you were on set that really stuck with you?
Romeo and Juliet, because like my first movie, we're in Mexico, and sets would like blow away. It was such a wild time, and such a great, different type of movie, and people didn't know what we were making, and Leo was about to become a supernova. I remember that set. I remember Scream, because we're all like bonded together in this little wine vineyard and making this horror movie, but we're having such a good time. And I remember Malibu's. I just remember like all the stuff, like Terry Crews just picking me up. I just remember he's like so strong and he's so big, and he was like picking me up. And I was like, this guy's just ragdolling me. and no one knew who he was. And I just remember how funny he was. And like, I just remember stuff like that. I just remember on Enemy of the State getting to play basketball with Will Smith's whole like crew, and I got invited to the game, and I
Did you
remember
meet Gene
how.
Hackman?
Oh yeah, I had scenes with Gene Hackman. He was
Right.
like,
What's he like?
he's intense, man. Like he's one of our greatest living actors of all time, and he's, you know, a no bullshit type of guy. And I remember his hand was. I have big hands, you know. I'm actually bigger than people realize, and his hands were bigger than mine, and they were like baseball mitts, and he had a scene where he reached over my face, and I just remember this big meaty hand. It was like, and I'm like that guy could grab your skull and crush it. I just
Wow.
remember, and I just was just like learning from him, looking at him. He was very, very cool and chill. But I thought I'm with one of the greatest to ever do it right there.
So cool. So cool. And I rewatched Malibu last night, and it holds up. It's about 17 years old now, but it's still very, very funny and relevant. The topic of race relations, but it's just a very funny movie. And I
Thank
actually
you.
I followed that with Son of the Mask.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
what was that experience like filming that sequel?
Well, it's two different movies, you know. It's
Yeah.
like two different experiences. Obviously, one was my baby. The other one, I tried to make my baby, but I didn't have the power. I didn't really have the power on Son of the Mask, and it was a risky thing to do. And I was like, but the director is still, I love him. I love Larry. He's a great guy. And if me and Larry got to make a movie that we really wanted to make, I think people would have liked it. We have an amazing cast with Alan and Trailer. It was such a good group of people. It wasn't just made by one vision, which was Larry's vision. It had a lot of people, studios and stuff. And I don't care if they hear this. It's like, there was a lot of expectations on it, but it was an amazing movie. We worked 5-6 days a week, acting, singing, prosthetics, stunts, cartoon. But really, it was the vibe of it, and my audience at the time, it was too much to bite off, I think, because my audience was more like fun humor, and this became more like a kids movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't set out to be like that. And that's where we kind of went off a little bit. I could have did a Littlewood movie and built up to it, but that was my mistake. But the movie could have worked if we had just stuck to one tone, but it kind of just became a big mishmash. And but it's funny, little kids that watch it now come up to me who are like 20, like, that movie, I used to watch it all the time. So I think it did. I think kids were just like watched it and were like, because it is kind of like an acid trip.
Yeah, it's a lot of visual.
I've only watched it once. It's crazy. I only watched it once, dude. I've seen so many of my movies. I only seen Scream twice though. Yeah. But some movies like Malibu, I've seen 8 times because it does come. And I haven't watched it because it's easy to watch. But Harold and Kumar, I've watched because it's easy to watch. But it's The Mask has so much going on. The Son of the Mask, but I should watch it again.
I mean, just go in knowing that you're in for a hurricane. It's it's all over the place. There's so much. But
it didn't. You're totally right, and it didn't have to be that way, and it's not. Yeah. It's not. Larry had a vision of making a slow, methodical cartoon world like Roger Rabbit, and it got a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and then it became like a mishmash. But it's not. I want to release the Guterman cut because he had a real good vision for it.
Nice. Yeah, there was just too much going on, and I would have.
You're right.
I would have loved to have seen more of you, your interaction with Stephen Wright and in the office. Yeah. That would have been cool. But
yeah, I know. These things you can only control so much, bro.
Yeah. And how's it like working on another franchise, the Tremors universe? How's that?
Now, Tremors, where Mask had so much expectations, Tremors had less expectations, and where the Son of Mask underdelivered. I'm involved with 3 franchises: Scream, which came out of nowhere and exploded and became something; Mask, which had huge expectations and underdelivered; and then Tremors has no expectations and overdelivered. If you take my last 2 Tremors movies that I'm a part of, and understand that Michael Gross is the anchor. the movies are way better than they should be. Okay, you compare them. Compare 5 and 6 to every movie except the first one, which started the whole thing off. And I'll argue with you that I don't know if any of them are better than, except the first one, which sets it off. 5 and 6 are incredible. They're so good. They're so fun. You know, me and the director and Michael, we all at times work well together, and then sometimes we butt heads, and they're not going to like me saying that but they all have their own way. And Don directs these movies like he's directing The Irishman. I mean, he is in charge of that set, and that's why these movies are so good, because he cares so much. And Michael is doing these scenes and acting with that gun like he's in the army. And then I come in and I go, what's everybody freaking out about? So that vision, it works because of 3 different types of energies.
Okay.
And that's why I think those movies are so good. I mean, they really care. And if those movies came out theatrically, they could have made money, because people love them and they're good. I'm telling you, I've watched them in the Universal screening room.
Nice.
And they're much more than just a direct-to-video sequel.
I'll be honest with you, though. I think I've only seen the first 2. So,
you gotta watch. Do you like Tremors? You like that?
I mean, I've never been like a hardcore fan, but I love the first one. I think it's a great horror film.
Well, if you're doing nothing, go watch 5. You tell me if I'm crazy.
I'm just gonna watch all of them. I mean, there's one where it's placed in the Old West, right?
Yeah, that one I didn't see. I haven't seen really many of them, actually.
Okay, you're in 5 and 6. Okay, I'll look out for those. Are there any other projects you're working on now that you can talk about?
Yeah, actually today, I think it comes out. Oh my God. I also have Coming to the Stage, which is a show on Pluto. And it's like, BET's Comic View. And Kevin Hart was the host with New Comedians. I'm the host of that. That's coming out, I believe, today.
Okay.
On Pluto. I got my specials on Tubi. You can stream all this now. And I also have a movie in the can called Crabs in the Bucket with Bruce Dern, Jeremy Piven. But
cool.
I don't know when it's going to come out because we're in the middle of the apocalypse.
Yeah, right. Well, I had one more question for you. Since a lot of comedic actors eventually turn to drama, I'm not sure if you've ever tackled drama. Would you want to do something serious, a serious role?
I have. I did Criminal Minds.
Okay.
I did.
Oh, TV, right? Okay.
I did. Yeah, I'd love to do it in movies. It's a matter of getting the role. Like, I was in the Ad Astra last year, but my part got cut out.
Oh.
I did a movie with Guy Pearce and Pierce Bronson called The Spinning Man. I had a little part. So I would definitely love to do more drama. I mean, to me, I'd love it. I've done so much comedy. You go where the love is, and then you work from there, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for your time today. This was great. Stoopid Smart will be available on Amazon, iTunes, and digital platforms. And I just want to wish you and your family just be safe, be healthy, and we're gonna pull through this. So be safe.
Thank you, man. You too, bro. Everybody out there, be safe. Listen to each other. Communicate.
All right, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Take care, man.